Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Next Level Racing Pro GT3 Championship here at TRACKILICIOUS. And oh my goodness, do we have a spicy one tonight. The Nordschleife, the green hell here at TRACKILICIOUS Sim Racing in the rain nonetheless. How is everybody doing? Doc Milwee, the papa of all papas, welcome back. Hope you are doing well. Super excited to have you. Rob Valkyrie, welcome. That is a fantastic emote, an absolute dragon with a fire breathing one at that. Hope you are all doing well. I am super excited. We have just under 8 minutes left in qualifying, which we all know is about a lap. And our drivers here are getting geared up, ready to rock and roll and try and set up their qualifying time after a week of break and extra practice, you might say. Well, I don't want to delay any further as there are multiple cars out on track qualifying, so why don't we hop in there and get this show on the road. Absolutely fantastic, super excited, hopping on board with the likes of Kenneth Portis the second. Kenneth right now 5th fastest lap of all, 10 seconds behind that of Andrew Rados, which you might think is a big gap, but in reality is quite an impressive lap nonetheless. 8:34.627 from Rados, both in the Honda, interestingly enough. Two Honda drivers here, and Kenneth Portis is trying to find a way to maximize, optimize, and all the other I's to get himself up in the pole position. A tall task at that, but he is already 2.5 seconds up on his lap at the very start, not very start, but early sectors of the long 8-minute Nordschleife, one of the longest, if not the longest. I think the only thing that's close, maybe we could do a fact check out there, is the Isle of Man, which is another just absolutely wild track. Hope everybody's doing well. What's new? What's good? What's happening? Portis still 2.5 seconds. Now what's interesting is fellow friend in the Lamborghini here, Jonathan Clifford in the HBR car, 5 seconds behind, but 3-second improvement through the sector here. About a third of the way through the lap, looking to improve all the way through. Rob, from what I recall, you are a relatively new member to the TRACKILICIOUS community. Where did you find us? How are you liking it? What are you racing in? Let us know. What's your gear? For those that are unfamiliar, the Nordschleife in this configuration is the combination of the GP circuit and the public road, which is an incredible quote-unquote race track. Massive variation in elevation and just unbelievable. I've had the fortune of being able to drive there. Just really unbelievable racetrack as we see Mr. Clifford going through the famous carousel here now. Sending it in, trying to carry as much speed as possible, gearing down. Losing a little bit of time there, actually. Not gonna be great. Our leader, Andrew Rados, right now, provisional pole, 8 minute 34, does show an improvement of 1.1 seconds to best his current time. Looks like just having gone through kilometer 11, it's into the little valley, or the Ghoukasian here. Going farther down the hill through Courage Curve, as they call it, the Mutkurve. Sorry. I'm gonna try and Germanize as much as I can. Go on board. See what Rados sees here. Going through the carousel. Trying to carry as much speed as possible. Okay, we go through a little bit more friendly at Cam here. The Nordschleife, not for the faint-hearted. So many corners. So many places to make a mistake, and all our call-outs for kilometers, all 20 of them, not including the GP track here. Rados trying to absolutely maximize every single corner. An unbelievable pace, leading Jonathan Clifford. Wilson Fernandez just a couple of seconds behind that. Joe Silverman doing a fantastic job up into P4, Kent Portis 5, Vasquez 6, Alves 7, Chandler Williams 8, Anthony Kelly 9, Jake Finn 10, Artem 11, and then 7 whole drivers that have yet to set a valid lap. Likes of Jace Wright looking for a time. So far, can't really see whether he's improving or not, as he doesn't have a valid lap. Quinn Smith on an invalid lap. I think just going around the loop here to get his lap started. Provolone as well. Well, Provolone deciding that a pit stop is what is in the books for him. We have the likes of Thiago Denarte. Ooh, Thiago in a brand new livery, looking quite threatening in the black and purple. Almost a Tron-esque livery. Super fun. Kernotis in the blue turtle shell Ferrari here. Ooh, big wiggle there for Kernotis. Manages to save it. Quick hands. Does him well. Oh, we have... oh, that's a stop for Alex Freeman. But it does have a time next to his name, so he does not stop in the back. Mario Costa looking for some magic. Start of the lap. It does look invalidated, so I don't think Mario Costa is going to get a lap in. But why don't we have a look at the likes of Andrew Rados coming through the final sector here, and does manage to find 1.5 seconds of improvement. 8:33. That is going to be a huge order. Clifford in the pits. Portis in the pits. Next big threat is the likes of Wilson Fernandez, down 1.8 seconds. We'll have to find a whole 10 seconds of improvement. I mean, it's not impossible, but it is a supremely tall task. And I think Wilson actually might be invalidated as well. But Joe Silverman actually looking pretty spicy. 4-second improvement up into P3. What a performance by Joe Silverman. Absolutely fantastic. Curtis welcome supporting Anthony Kelly. Anthony Kelly actually in a big improvement right now. 5.6 seconds as he goes through the Dottingahua straight. That is going to be a good rack of positions that he's going to gain. Denarte up into P3, knocking Silverin down into P4. Great performance by him. But all eyes on Anthony Kelly right now, trying to find some magic in the final few corners. 5.8, 5.9 second improvement, 6 second improvement. Still looking for more. No! Oh no! Oh no! Out of gas! That is unbelievable! Oh no! That is unfortunate. Anthony Kelly, 6 seconds would have gotten him all the way up into P8. No! That is sad days for Anthony Kelly, having the performance in the bag, but no fuel in the tank. As we wait for our final contenders to come through. Likes of Quinn Smith, looking for some magic. And the Aston Martin AM V8 Vantage. Lovely sounding, deep throaty V8. Aston's historically known for having absolutely fantastic sounding engines, often winning the best sound of the grid. Wilson Fernandez completing his lap until up into provisional P5 for Fernandez. As we keep eyes on some of the remaining drivers, looks like we got 3 left. The number 7 of Chandler Williams. Chandler in the Mustang. Please brake at T1. The new Tron looking livery. And Neil will give you that livery deep dive somewhere here soon, hopefully. That is P7 for Chandler Williams. Sorry, P8 for Chandler Williams. Quinn Smith, next vehicle on the road, looking for an improvement. Ooh, big slide. Does catch it. Again, let's see if we could have a nice little internal cam. I like going helmet cam, gives us a bit of feel for the movement around there. Quinn looking for any optimization that he can in the wet here. So much work as he goes through the incredibly complex combination of corners. Little late apex here. This one always crashes me out. Did crash here several on the last enduro that I did. No mistakes for quite some time. And then finally, I think it was 6 hours in or something like that, last stint or two of the lap, just lost concentration, forgot where I was on track, and turned in a little bit too early. Really surprised me that there is a NSX on pole. Well, the NSX may not be the optimal vehicle for this track, but Andrew Rados does know how to get every morsel of performance out of that vehicle. Absolutely fantastic, especially in the rain with how difficult that car is to drive. Rados, an absolute professional, legend of sorts, getting that thing into P1, provisional P1. Brother of Mario Costa, Fenton, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Light Street Studio, welcome. Hope you are well. First time chatter, do you sim race? What do you sim race? Look at Mario Costa as he's absolutely sending it through the back end of the track here. Mario looking to set a time along with the likes of Quinn Smith. Lots of understeer coming from that McLaren. Absolutely, Electric Studio. You are more than welcome to do so. We do have LMU leagues as well. Looks like Quinn gets himself into P4. Fantastic job there. And the only man on the field here, while dealing with so much understeer in the high-speed sections. Still, so much turn, but not enough rotation. As we go through the Schwalbenschwatz and the Klein's Carousel, Litter Carousel, Galgenkopf, the Gallows Head, back onto the Dottinger Höhe, the Dottingen High Straight. What will it be for Mario Costa? Well, I get it. I do believe, and I see that motivation comes in waves, Electric Studio, but happy to hear that you're kind of getting things back. Yeah, as Mario Costa does, oh, big slide, not exactly what he wants to see. As he tries to go through the final sector here, onto the straight, and what will it be? It is a 8-minute 49 for Mario Costa, up into 12th position. Well worth the wait for all the other drivers, as he does manage to finish that. And here we go. Let's get onto our grid walk and have a look at what these drivers are facing and in what particular order. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the drivers in pole position. We have the likes of Andretti in P1 position. The Team Up Garage Honda NSX. Jonathan Clifford coming in P2. Fantastic performance by Clifford. We'll be looking to challenge the likes of that of Andrew Rados. P3, Tiago Dinarte in the brand new Please Break It T1 vehicle, looking absolutely threatening in the Phantom Black, I would say. P4, Quinn Smith doing a good job of getting his vehicle up into P4. Gil Silverin up into P5 in the Mustang. These Mustangs looking absolutely threatening towards the top end of the grid here. P6, Wilson Fernandez. No foreigner to the better half of the grid. Doing a fantastic job here in P6. Jace Wright, P7, second Lamborghini on the grid. Fantastic livery, if I may say so myself. May or may not have created a Jace Wright. Getting it up into P7. Kenneth Portis, P8, second Honda on the grid. Trying to find the same magic that Rados has found. Mike Vasquez, P9. First Ferrari on the grid. Not known for its top speed. Might be giving it some challenges, but still not a bad spot. P10, another, I think it's called Bantam Black. Just sucks the light out of the air. Just deathly looking. The black Mustang of Chandler Williams. Mateus Alves, the Brazilian, here in P11, doing a fantastic job. Mario Costa in P12. Anthony Kelly for the fans in P13. Jake Finn, the Canadian, in the lone Nissan in P14. Matt Artem today in the lone Audi in P15. Alex Freeman, the McLaren in P16. Jason Provolone P17, and the likes of Professor Kanotis in P18. Looks like we have a Brazilian in the crowd cheering on for all the Brazilians. And it does look like we don't have rain. Not quite sure what the forecast is, but they are starting on dries. Wondering if they got the right pressures or not. And that will absolutely be a challenge. And why don't we take this opportunity to have a look at this livery from Chandler Williams. Wow. Look at that. Looks really, really cool. Color combination, contrasting. Almost looks like a t-shirt that we sell. Those of you looking for some cool ACC merch, we do have a front end outline t-shirt that I think you guys would love. Super fun. Fantastic as everybody lines up ready to go here at TRACKILICIOUS in the Next Level Racing GT3 Pro Championship. We have a green light. Looks like Rados gets a fantastic start, gets ahead of the likes of Jonathan Clifford, but being threatened by Thiago Dinarte just behind. Dinarte going on the inside, big send, late braking. Clifford on the outside, which turns into the inside of T2. Bit of a touch there. Bit of a bumping and banging. Jills maybe looking for an opportunity to get ahead of Thiago Dinarte, but Dinarte solidifies that P3 position right behind. Couple of people going side by side. Quinn Smith and the likes of Jace Wright. Jace Wright making a move, not quite in there just yet. Quinn Smith having the inside and does manage to make it sick, but the inside does turn into the outside as the track goes back and forth here. Everybody seemingly making it through the first couple corners. Quinn Smith settling just behind Jace Wright. Jace Wright going wide though. Quinn Smith coming back at him, bringing the Ferrari just behind into play. Quinn Smith not letting go of that position just yet, but that does kind of end up where he is settling behind the likes of Jace Wright. Jace Wright now, I believe, effectively in P5 or 6 as we wait for everything to juggle back into position. Whether they have Chandler Williams dropping down, battling side by side, whether they have the right tire strategy or not, it's all about the pressures. They would not have gotten a great read out of the qualifying lap, unfortunately for them. But here we go. Williams does secure that, but is coming with a 10-second penalty from the previous race, unfortunately for him. But what is fortunate is that, oh no, Silverin off track. Let's go back and have a look at what happened there. Was it a self-inflicted error? Vasquez. Oh, let's try to find Silverin here. What happens? Went quite a ways back, looking to see what happened to Silverin. A bit wide. Oh, goodness. Self-inflicted error. Oh, no. That is unfortunate. Takes Vasquez out with him. Vasquez and Silverin both deciding to return to pits. That is quite unfortunate. Oh, we're not even quite through the first half of the track and already has claimed two, not one, but two Brazilians, unfortunately. So we're back on here. The legs of Thiago Dinarte pressuring Jonathan Clifford. How unfortunate. Freeman, Kanotis. Yeah, Alex, absolutely. New livery Super fun to see. Commentators challenging Alex Freeman for a position, and as well, we do have the likes of Thiago Denarte challenging Jonathan Clifford. Jace Wright just behind. Quinn Smith not too far behind that. This is going to be a fun race indeed. There is a tendency for these cars to gap themselves, but oh, Clifford making a mistake. Denarte going for it. Oh, huge send on the outside. Now side by side, Denarte does manage to secure the position. What an unbelievable move by Thiago Denarte. Sees the mistake by Jonathan Clifford and absolutely capitalizes on it. That Alex Hansen needs to go on the pass and save of the season for sure. Need to get that one. Denarte doing a fantastic job going onto the grass to make that move work nearly completely onto the grass, and is now up into P2, I believe. Clifford still finding or trying to find his new comfort. Had clear pace, clear confidence in qualifying, but that's the thing about the Nordschleife. The smallest mistake can yield huge problems. Fortunately for him, he survives to tell the tale, survives to complete another lap, lives to die another day here at the Next Level Racing GT3 Championship at TRACKILICIOUS at the Nordschleife, the Green Hell, claiming its first couple victims. These guys incredibly racy despite the risks. Jace Wright looking for a move. Lamborghini on Lamborghini action, something between qualifying and this race session here has given Jace Wright oodles and oodles of confidence and pace, and Jace is looking very attacking up in P4, having started from P8, I believe. This battle, hard to peel your eyes away from it. Chandler Williams also looking threatening, and the Please Break It T1 Mustang. And then there's the likes of Professor Commentators charging at Alex Freeman. Battles all over. 80-minute race. Mandatory pit stop. And then optional tires. Chandler Williams looking very threatening. Trying to find anything he can, as you have the likes of Matheus Alves just ahead of Kenneth Portis. Kenneth Portis just ahead of Chandler Williams. Chandler Williams looking more threatening than Kenneth Portis is onto Matheus Alves. Push. Williams is gonna need not just an overtake, but also to build a 10-second gap to overcome his penalty from the previous race. Ooh, looking quite threatening there. The one thing that Williams does have working for him as they go through the straight. Looks like the track has claimed this next victim. The likes of Alex Freeman now looking very damaged. That hood not looking too happy. Quinn Smith, Jace Wright, Jonathan Clifford. Clifford not having much of a toe. Quinn Smith, though, being given a pull. Clifford, an OP strategy, saying, hey, you two back there, you guys should race. I encourage it. But that is a position for the likes of Quinn Smith. Quinn Smith getting himself ahead of Jace Wright as they go into the hard braking zone. Chandler Williams, the straight line speed of that Mustang going side by side towards the end of the straight, and that is move done for Chandler Williams ahead of Kenneth Portis. And now looking at Matheus Alves already caught up. That Mustang straight line speed is unbelievable as they get back into the GP track. One lap completed. That is a long lap indeed. What's Chrono's team name again? Chrono's team name is... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The Blue Shell Turtle. Chandler Williams now trying to gap the likes of Kenneth Portis. Not going to be an easy task. Portis, an absolute machine. Lean, mean, practicing machine. Kenneth Portis the third. The second, sorry. Not the third, the second. As I embarrassingly correct myself there. Portis, most practice of anybody, 31 laps of practice, which you would say regularly, oh, that's 31. That's not that much. And then you remember, we're talking about an 8+ minute lap. That's a lot of time spent over the last 2 weeks, as we did have a week's break. Fine-tuning everything. As we said, Chandler Williams not only has to pass these guys, but put a 10-second gap between them by the end of the race. He does have a full 70 minutes now to do that, as Chandler is looking incredibly threatening. Looks like he had made a mistake early under. Whoa! Oh my goodness! Huge save of that Mustang. That Mustang is incredibly understeery in entry and incredibly oversteery on exit. It's been driven that car in the past. Tough car to drive, but Williams, while having a situation, making it look easy. Oh my goodness, we have a three-way battle here for P3, sorry. Lamborghinis going side by side. Jace Wright, but the braver of the two. Quinn Smith having a look now on the inside. Both make a move, and that is 2 positions down for the likes of Jonathan Clifford. Clifford now down into P5, unfortunately for him. A bit of confidence lost for Clifford in the first lap. Jace Wright taking absolute advantage of it, as well as Quinn Smith, bumping themselves up into P3 and P4 respectively. Quinn Smith will be continuing to chase down, as he is in a Lamborghini sandwich, but will be continuing to chase down the likes of Jace Wright for that P3 position, get back up into the podium. But we do have a lap remaining, as a little over 60 minutes in this race. 1 pit stop mandatory and an optional tire change for those that choose to have it. What do you guys think? What is the strategy? Is the tire change the optimal strat? Maybe you get better tires, but being stuck behind somebody through the Nordschleife, all the twisties and bendies and turnies. Oh. Chandler Williams not looking too good. Oh no. What happened to Chandler Williams? He was looking so racy. Does the Green Hell claim its next victim here in the Next Level Racing GT3 Pro Championship? Chandler Williams in the new livery in the Mustang, going wide, losing the rear end. Goodness. Wasn't that bad. I don't know. Ooh. Do you park it after that? I think he could have gone and gotten his pit stop out of the way and still been quite competitive, unfortunately. Chandler Williams. The Fried Egg 61, welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you doing? How was your stream? What were you streaming? We are on the second lap of our 80-minute race here as we see the death of Chandler Williams. Mario Costa in a bit of a situation as Professor Carnota's passing, but Quinn Smith continuing to look absolutely threatening. And I think Jace Wright was just letting him go, question mark? Oh, Jace going onto the grass. Looking crazily competitive. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Just finished the racing on LMU. For those who are interested, we do have our LMU championship on Tuesdays. Where did you race, Egg? What track was it? Which of the lovely tracks that we don't get in ACC? Or one of the ones we do share? And how did you do? As we look at the likes of Quinn Smith, Jace Wright, and Jonathan Clifford, all within a second of each other. Absolutely threatening. Jace Wright looking on the inside. Not quite getting that move done. Monza. Back-to-back P1 wins. Nice. Good job. That is fantastic. I think like 3 wins to my name over the 3 years of sim racing. Never back-to-back, so that's quite impressive. And I don't think ever at Monza. Not a strong track for me. As we continue to see Quinn Smith and Jace Wright battling. This position swap might have been strategic for Jace Wright, letting Quinn Smith ahead. Quinn gonna try to gap, but Jace Wright only 3/10 behind. And as you see ahead, Andrew Rados, Thiago Denarte, not that far from each other actually. Oh my goodness. Fried Egg, 140 wins. Oh, Jace Wright tucked right in behind. Oh, I want to see this from the inside. Oh, decides not to overtake. Interesting. Wow. Oh, Quinn Smith making a mistake. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. Just outbrakes himself. Oh no. That is positioned back for the likes of... Oh my goodness, position back for the likes of Jace Wright and Jonathan Clifford. Jonathan Clifford, having lost both those spots, now is looking incredibly threatening. Looking on the inside of Jace Wright, side by side, the 2 Lamborghinis. Some overlap, not a lot, does have enough. As we go left, as we go right, as we go Jace Wright. Looks like Jonathan Clifford decides the better of it. And that is really unfortunate for the likes of Quinn Smith, but the racing continues now on the 3rd lap. Jace Wright, a bit of breathing room as now there's a bit over a car's length between the two. 2 cars length, maximizing the last couple corners as they get prepared to head back into the public streets of the Nordschleife. Kenneth Portis still hunting down the likes of Mateus Alves, and Thiago Denarte only a second behind the likes of Andrew Rados. Ooh, this is going to be quite an interesting race towards the end. What is the strategy going to be? New livery from the Please Break It T1 team. There you have it, Kenneth Portis. Now almost losing sight of, not sight, but losing touch with the likes of Matías Alves. "16 cars remaining on track." Actually, really, it's 15 cars on track. Losing 3 people already. So unfortunate. But that is the way the cookie crumbles here at the Green Hell. Here at TRACKILICIOUS Sim Racing. Jonathan Clifford. Quinn Smith ahead now. What is going on? Let's go back and look at that. Quinn Smith behind Jace Wright and Jonathan Clifford. Clifford seemingly making a mistake here. Oh, big slide. And is that all the invitation that Quinn Smith needed to make a move? It absolutely is. Smith, being the bolder, braver of the two, sends it in and makes that move stick. Fantastic move. Again, the slightest of opportunities is all it takes. Oh no! Wilson Fernandez out in the gravel. Sounded like he was getting the car back going. I think this might be the stream of mistakes as we constantly go back and forth. Oh, that's, well, we got something else going on. We have a position change between Thiago Dinarte and Andrew Rados. No, let us go back. What happened? Gonna go back a whole minute to try and catch this. Oh, just missed it. Just missed it. Must have been a self-inflicted error by the likes of Andrew Rados. As we are in our replay right now. Very, very unfortunate. That's gonna make for some fun racing though. So we go back. Alves. Still ahead of Portis. Looking for some magic. Quinn Smith now ahead of Clifford. Tell me, how is everybody doing? What's new? What's happening? What's crack-a-lackling? As we watch these folks continue to battle here at the Next Level Racing GT3 Championship. For those who don't know, Next Level Racing making legendary sim rigs, or cockpits as they call them. And we do have an affiliate code. Get 5% off your gear. And apply the code TRACKILICIOUS5 at checkout. Great stuff. Great quality. And just as good as the quality of racing that we see here between the likes of Quinn Smith and Jace Wright. Super fun battle. Quinn Smith continuing to chase down the Lamborghini. Oh, Jace making a mistake, goes off, and that is the move done for Quinn Smith. I don't need a replay to watch that one, but goodness, is it a race of mistakes here today as everybody just going back and forth. This is unbelievable. Super cool to see. Absolutely. Very, very fun. Mario Costa looked like he had a yellow flag for a second, but no longer seems to be the case. Kurnoda still chasing down the likes of Matt Artem, 1.8 seconds back. Oh, looks like Portis looking for some straight line advantage between himself and Alves. Going outside, inside, doesn't quite have it. Decides to survive, to race another day, another lap, another corner. Continue to optimize, maximize. Does get a great exit onto the front straight here on the GP circuit. Kenneth Portis side by side with Matheus Alves. Alves ducking behind the likes of Kenneth Portis. Kenneth Portis moving himself up into P6 in the Honda. And does manage to secure that position. That is not going to be something Alves will be too happy about, but there is still almost 55 minutes left in the race. We are 3 laps in. On to lap number 4. 25 minutes done. Presumably another 8 laps remaining. Potentially 9. Here at the Nordschleife in the Next Level Racing GT3 Pro Championship. Rados. Going from bad to worse, that's not enough. Can we go further back? Oh, I wish our replay buttons were better. Oh no, Rados seems to have made another mistake and drops down to P4 now. Behind Jace Wright. What is going on? Things going from bad to worse for Rados. Oh no, Provolone in a situation. Fortunately, pretty close to the pits. We'll be able to go in and get things repaired. Rados though. Jace Wright deciding, you know what? This is not a battle for me. I would rather just let you go than lose time trying to defend you. Not the worst of strategies. We'll be trying to keep in close contact with him though. Use Rados' lines, see if there's anything he can learn, both mid-engine cars. Ooh, Rados, big slide and save. Oh, going wide again. If Rados doesn't pick up the pace, he's gonna push Jace right into the clutches of Jonathan Clifford. Clifford having started P2. Oh my goodness! Oh no! Oh no! What happened there? That is a long way back to the pits for Rados and Jace Wright. Looks like net code, quote unquote, just got to go and touch the rear end. Oh no. This race has gone from interesting to absolutely dramatic. Andrew Rados, gonna go and check, but I believe is the championship leader. Oh, come on. We'll be looking to figure something out. Looks like the likes of Kent Portis has made his way ahead of Matheus Alves. We did see that, actually. Rados now just dropping down. He's not gonna be too happy about that. Oh no, loads and loads of track to go to find his way back into the pits, but this is something that he has to do. Championship contender cannot just quit. Alves now back on the likes of Kent Portis. My goodness, the drama is unbelievable here. Rados falling down the field. Now trying to find the absolutely most efficient way to get back into the pits. Fortunately, it wasn't on lap 1, so he's kind of in a good spot to repair and have the fuel to finish the race. But that is not the way that he'd planned to do that. And while it wasn't necessarily a mistake on his part in this particular occasion, it definitely was a couple of mistakes from earlier on that yielded a situation for him to get in there. Oh my goodness, and there's a mistake for Quinn Smith. The green hell continues to claim more and more drivers going wide there. That's not the issue. Does manage to survive that corner there. Oh, but just a bit too much into the curb. Flying across. Oh no, and that's right before the first carousel. That is also going to be a long way back. This race is now turned into a two-man race, I believe, between Quinn Smith and Rados. Quinn deciding to return to the pits. Oh goodness, Rados wall riding his way. Oh no. Oh no. And the green hell claims yet another victim. Fourth lap, Quinn Smith out. Andrew Rados, our pole sitter, out. Matheus Alves testing destiny. Jace Wright turned the other way around. What happened there? Do we have enough of a replay? It just goes wide. Oh my goodness me. Well, can't say it hasn't been entertaining. Unfortunate, maybe, but quite entertaining. Jace Wright again. What are you doing, Jace? Oh no. Too much curb. Wiggle, wiggle, wall. Wall again. And again. P5 for Kelly indeed. What is it that they say? To finish first, first you must finish. Kelly doing a great job of surviving, making his way up. Jace Wright, that rear end, not looking too happy. Oh, big spin. Chrono makes his way through. Jace Wright just tempting fate. much deciding that slowing down is not in his best interest. I would respectfully disagree. It's just racking up more damage. But Jace Wright in quite an optimal spot to get himself back into the pits and repair. So we head into the 5th lap now. 4 completed, 45 minutes remaining. It looks like we're gonna get somewhere in the magnitude of 9 or 10 laps here at the Nordschleife in this 80-minute race. Anthony Kelly up 8 positions. Almost as many as Professor Kernotis with 11 positions gained. Again, just choosing to survive. Kelly starting from 13th now up into P5. Looking for any mistakes from the likes of Thiago Dinarte, Jonathan Clifford, who has had some half errors, you could call them. Kenneth Portis. Practice yielding great results for Portis. And while there is a gap, we'll be happy with that one. Up 5 positions from P8 up into P3. But is going to be looking at a pretty good position if he continues in this consistency. I was trying to get you some information in the championship standings, but unfortunately our SimGrid's looking pretty slow right now. Not quite sure what's going on. Folks, there has been quite a few drivers with unfortunate endings so far. The Green Hell claiming many a life. Even that of Andrew Rados, who is actually back on the track. Awesome. Back on the track. Love to see that. Maybe a lap down, but realizing that staying on the grid will give him critical championship points. Fantastic, and we'll continue to try to get to what those championship points are for Mr. Rados here. Rados continuing to look for anything he can. That pace, being a lap down, is going to be too tough to make back overall. But we'll just be looking to see if more people die and quit as the Green Hell continues to claim victims. Nearly every lap has seen many claimed at this point in time. Thiago Dinarte, though, looking pretty solid. 12-second lead. Enough to take a breath, to relax, but it isn't quite what you want to do, in all honesty. Relaxing is not something you really want to do. It's really tough at the Nordschleife because there's such a small operating window. Going faster beyond that will get you in trouble, and going slower will get you in trouble, as it really is such a muscle memory track. You really have to put down laps and laps and laps to kind of get your groove, ensure that you're in a good spot. And that is absolutely right, as Andrew Rados does have the championship lead by very little, only 9 points over the likes of Jonathan Clifford. And unfortunately, he can't quite afford to lose, as he did start the championship slightly later than the others. Oh my goodness, and as we say it, Thiago Dinarte makes the mistake. Oh no! That's an exclamation point curse if I've ever seen one. Oh goodness. 13-second lead. A lead no more. I even missed that. I was reading up the times there. The championship standings. Jonathan Clifford, his championship contender, or Rados' championship contender, now, after multiple mistakes, little ones, albeit, looking at the lead car just seconds ahead. Wow! What a turn of events. We'll make sure we add that. P3 for Kenneth Portis. What is going on, Silverin? Not looking too happy. Doesn't look like there's much damage on the car, but well, again, oh, Thiago Dinarte does come in. Does come in for the repairs. Now this is going to be interesting. Wonder how much repair he's going to have. And is he going to change tires? Long time in the pits. As we see the likes of Mario Costa, I believe. No, that's not Costa. Another, oh, I think it's Anthony Kelly. Kelly. Just in reach. And that is Thiago Dinarte on his way. Ooh. Some repairs, but not all repairs. Anthony Kelly. Does he take tires? Not quite sure. 4 seconds slower than Thiago Nenarte. Kelly looking pretty good, actually. Jonathan Clifford now into the top spot, but we're not quite sure whether that's gonna be the case after a couple of laps. We'll have to wait and find out. His buddy Kenneth Portis II, not too far behind, but also not incredibly close either. Clifford's fastest lap, a 8:19.3, with Portis having an 8:19.1 being his last lap, gaining some oomph and speed. Curious what Rados's last fast lap was. 8:18.8. Doesn't quite matter if you crash though, especially if you return to garage. Rados in 12th position again, completing for the points. This does spice up the championship quite a bit. Becomes incredibly interesting towards the end of the season. Clifford will be battling the lights of Thiago Nenarte after he goes into the pits, and he is going to be looking to absolutely smoke this lap to try and see if he can get ahead. Tough challenge for sure though. Maybe we could follow Clifford, as there aren't any real challenges going on the grid. Have a look and see what Jonathan can put down here on board with Jonathan Clifford in the Lamborghini. First third of the racetrack nearly completed. Down the hill here. Huge uphill braking and almost into the fast section going up the hill. One more big braking point here and then full throttle for quite some ways up the mountain here. There we go. Big lift. And then a tricky left, right. Up into the Stilstrecke. The steepy, sloppy section. And into the carousel here now. Great elevation changes here in the 14th kilometer of the track. This is where it gets really confusing for me. Lots of similar looking corners. Looking at the Hohe Acht and through what I believe is Hedwig's Height. The combination of left rights, double left, late apex left here. Coming onto the jump, I believe. Whoa. Huge test of guts. Now down the mountain. No lift there. Tap of the brakes potentially here. Yep. And big braking point going into find the second carousel here, the little carousel. Find the throttle as early as possible. Back through Galgenkopf, Gallows Head, onto the Dattinger Höhe. Straight. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Jonathan Clifford. Masterclass. Looking quite quick, actually, on his lap. Is that going to be a pit entry for him? No! Looks like Mr. Clifford is going long. Many laps as possible. Might have had a bit of a yellow flag there. Denarte looking good. Mario Costa. Still looking pretty good. P8 for Costa. Quite a few people to pit yet, though. Let's have a look at Rados again. Oh my goodness, Rados crashed again. My goodness, his luck going from bad to worse. That is incredibly unfortunate. Oh. Denarte still carrying the damage from before. Let's call this the damage cam. Clifford looking pretty good right now. Denarte not looking so good. Matheus Alves, pretty good. Eth Portis looking pretty good. Anthony Kelly, P5, looking pretty good. Matt Artem, not so much. Some scrapes and stuff, but the hood's still on, so that's good news. Professor Kunotis looking pretty dirty, but in one piece still. Costa, also dirty, but one piece. Alex Freeman, saw him crash earlier, well, looking clean now. Silverin not made a second mistake. Rados now back out. Williams also back out, and having made the mistake earlier, no longer. Marquez, Mike Vasquez, third time's the charm. all the Vezes and Ezes, cover them all except the right one, and finally got it. I think the question is, what does Jonathan Clifford do with 26 minutes left in the race? Where does he end up? Nobody around him, going long. Decides that tires, who needs them? I can do it. It's only 80 minutes. Jonathan Clifford, definitely looking good. Has a 56-second lead over the others. Now, let's see if we can get a clear answer on what lengths pit stops look like. Dinarte looked like he had a 42-second pit stop. Portis 51-second pit stop. So we are very, very close to the window for Jonathan Clifford regaining the lead of the race. And the longer he goes, if he does put down faster laps than the likes of Thiago Dinarte, best lap 8:15, last lap 9:12. Did he get into another? No. So that was probably his pit lap. But his fastest lap is actually 5 seconds faster than Clifford's best of a 19.2 relative to Dinarte's 15.8. Even with the damage, Dinarte looking pretty rapid. Well, the position's true. P2 for Dinarte. P3 for Alves. P4 for Portis. P5 for Kelly. P6 for Artem. P7 for Professor Carnotis. P8 all the way back for Costa. P9 for Freeman. And then way back, just ahead of the likes of Jonathan Clifford, P10. Real question is, where does Clifford end up? That is the real question. Real tricky question. Clifford looking mighty fine still. Really looking to see this group 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 still within a sector of each other. That's gonna be interesting. Interesting for sure. Let's see. Setting up a speed trap at the end of the straight to see what the top speed of our drivers is. Again, Denarte looking pretty good. 8 seconds behind. Alves can see him. Is super exciting. Yeah, Jacob, I believe what Clifford's going to do is go until the very last minute, until fuel is definitely going to run out, and then pit. Clearly not taking any tires, so going to be a big risk to see how that plays out for him. It is going to be quite the challenge with the likes of Denarte just behind. Is it the right choice or not? We'll have to wait and find out for sure. It's going to have a super short pit. Definitely going to come out ahead, potentially by 20 seconds or so. And then it'll be up to the likes of Denarte and his damaged car to find 20 seconds to catch up. I mean, it might be closer considering. Just having a look at our speed trap. Looks like we have 274.0 for Denarte, 274.35. Looking at top speeds actually. 280 for Clifford, 276 for Denarte, 276 for Alves, 280 for Portis, 277 for Kelly, 278 for Artem, 278 for Kernotis. Again, no real battles on the field right now. Just looking to see what's going on. Matt Artem. I think that race at the end, Jacob, is gonna be gonna be quite fun, actually. Quite fun. We're just gonna have to wait and see, hoping that Thiago Denarte does not make a mistake, and the likes of Jonathan Clifford doesn't either. Both optimizing their times. Looks like the gap is now not really being calculated. I think we gotta wait until Denarte goes through the checkpoint here for us to get a true time. Nope, not today, apparently. But yeah, Clifford absolutely going for it now. I would guess that it's either, well, has to be either the end of this lap or the next one that he pits. Very likely this one, I would think. Not sure how much fuel that the car can carry, but I can't imagine that it's more than like 65 minutes or so, which is just about how much Clifford will have completed by the time he's done this lap. Yeah, we are gonna... gonna see how it ends up here. Jonathan Clifford towards the top of the hill, top of the mountain. This is gonna be the race to watch. How is it gonna work out? Clifford trying to maximize things. Denarte looking pretty good. P2. Waiting for the pit stop to see where he ends up. Tis Alves. Second Brazilian on the grid. Ooh, bit of a slide there. Portis. Again, these guys not too far from each other. Kelly. Solid P5 for Kelly. At Artem in P6. Professor Kernotis. Up 11 positions for P7. Survival is absolutely key. Mario Costa. P12. Sorry, started P12. Up into P8 now. Freeman, P16, despite his mistake. Silverin, down 5 positions. Andrew Rados, P11, down 10 positions, having podiumed. Or I should say pole positioned. Really, really tough day for him. 2 big mistakes, but trying to redeem what he can. And looking at what opportunities Rados has, so P10 is about a half a lap ahead, so it'll take something really miraculous to gain that position from the likes of Joe Silverin. They are both on the same lap. Well, not anymore. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 13 minutes left in the race. Is this one? Jonathan Clifford is going to come into the pits. We will wait and find out now. Laps are looking pretty good. Put down his fastest lap in the last one. Is he shaping up to come into the pits? Absolutely is. Sends it into the pits. Does nail the pit entry. And now we wait. Denarte just at the start of the Dottingerhöhe Straight. Oh, that's a long way to go. Pit's not that long. Mustang, as mighty quick as it is, may not have enough to get it there for the likes of Jonathan Clifford, the 99 car in the lead spot. Ooh, quick splash and dash for Clifford. And now the chase is on. Clifford looking pretty strong into lap 8. 2 laps remaining. Approximately 16, 17 minutes. And Denarte now entering ooh, has some distance, but not that much. So the distance between the two, I would say, is probably 20 seconds or so. And over 16 minutes, that's a lot. Clifford does have pretty decent pace. Damage being carried by Denarte. Last lap was a 17-0. I don't know. That's a tall order. Must be a mistake somewhere for this thing to change. Oh, Denarte for sure pushing. Whether it's going to work out for him or not, that is a completely different question. Gonna manually time this. 47 seconds, is that true? Clifford. Let's see. When he gets onto the straight. We'll time when he gets onto the straight. Trying to maximize every little bit. Okay. Okay, here we go. I messed that up. Not very stopwatch handy, apparently. Okay, got a spot. Let's see where Denarte is. Oof. 11 seconds behind. 11 seconds over 2 laps is the difference between Thiago Denarte and Jonathan Clifford. Not that much, folks. 2 laps remaining. Really a matter of focus, determination, clarity of mind. This is going to be really, really, really interesting. Here we go as our timing chart updates. 12 seconds between the two. 12 seconds to Alves. And all but 2 laps to go. This one and the next one. Whew. Chandler Williams jumping into pits now. Gord is still chasing down the likes of Mario Alves. Let's see how that looks. Let's not do that. Ooh, within sight, only 3 seconds between the two. Portis' last lap, actually 3 seconds faster than Alves' last lap. Wow, this is looking spicy. Both on an improvement as well. Portis definitely on the hunt. Seems to be getting closer. We will find out in the next checkpoint here. Some lovely next level racing graphics here. The race is still on, ladies and gentlemen. Portis looking increasingly threatening here. Gap now 1.5 seconds. No gain for Denarte, no gain for Alves, but Portis looking for a podium here. In the words of Elliot Ness, played by Kevin Costner in The Untouchables, in the epic movie, the battle between the Treasury Department and Al Capone. Never stop fighting. Never stop fighting until the fight is done. And that is exactly what our most practiced individual here, Kenneth Portis, is doing, chasing down the likes of Matheus Alves. Penultimate lap of the green hell here. Survivors, not many, but those that remain battling till the very last lap. Portis continually chasing down the likes of Matheus Alves. Alves trying to push, trying to keep that 1.5 seconds advantage as they go through the final couple corners before the big back straight. Now he really wants to be at least a second ahead, so he does not give Portis an advantage. And we will find out as soon as they go through. And looks like Portis is over a second behind, and that is going to be very positive for Matheus Alves. But the likes of Jonathan Clifford and Narte Alves, still 12 seconds between them. Alves is going to be the fight we look at, though. "11 seconds between Dinarte and Clifford. Half a second gain. Not quite going to be enough for the final lap. Ooh, 14 seconds between Alves and Dinarte. Alves lost several seconds to Dinarte, and Portis now almost within a second. This is going to be a battle to the finish. Going through into the GP section. Portis closer than ever now. We'll have an entire 8 minutes to find a spot to pressure Alves into a mistake. Both seemingly have run a similar strategy. Portis right there now. .069 Gaffa, welcome. We are in the final lap of our 80-minute race here at the Nordschleife, and Kenneth Portis II is chasing down the likes of Matheus Alves. Alves less than a second ahead, going into the green hell, fighting for position, fighting for that last podium spot, a position of note. Kenneth Portis trying to find every ounce of performance that he can chasing down the likes of Matheus Alves. As much, but not too much, is exactly what he's looking for. To try and close down the likes of Matheus Alves. Alves making a mistake. Inviting Portis through the through the foxhole. Portis right on his tail now. Oh my goodness. What is your strategy if you are in this situation from Alves? Try to stay ahead as long as possible, but do you give the position away right before the Dottinger straight? Or does Portis just manage to get ahead sooner and gap? That is going to be the question. These two still battling for position. Exactly 80 minutes in as I finish the statement. And now, with the timer gone down to 0, this final lap, will it claim yet another victim? Will Kenneth Portis find that P3 podium spot? Or will Alves remain the victor of this long building battle? The battle between the Japanese NSX and the Italian stallion, the Ferrari, up ahead. Alves so far, despite the mistake, looking decent, but a long, long way to go. The battle continues. We are not going to take our eyes off Portis now. Bumper to bumper with Alves. We'll be looking for any opportunity he can. Looks on the outside. Too wide. Oh my goodness, Portis trying to be brave. Through one of the fastest corners on the track. Going up the mountain. Alves gets the better of him this time around as they do come into the carousel section and then through lots of turns and twists. Going to be a very difficult spot for Portis to find any opportunity for an overtake. What happens here? Those cameras not giving us any action. Alves, yet another slight error. Lives to tell the tale. Just look at the speed. Portis chasing down the likes of Matheus Alves. Portis looking quite focused. Having some pace in hand to challenge Alves ahead. As we said, through the twisty bits up on the top of the mountain here. Not much between these two. Going through the jump. Both surviving yet again. These are a bit of the risky corners. Alves really pushing. You can see him dipping his tires into the grass every so often. This is where the big question lies. Alves, does he allow Portis to overtake before they get to the straight or not? Both getting through relatively well. Alves does have a bit of a gap, but not much. Big slide for Alves. Ooh, does miss the apex. Looks like Portis does get a much better run. Now Alves trying to break the toe. Portis getting closer and closer. And while we do have the likes of Jonathan Clifford, interesting, Alves does not take the defensive line. Jonathan Clifford for P1. Portis ahead of Alves. Only a couple of corners left. Denarte does manage to secure P2. Final couple of corners here for the P3 battle. Portis does manage to make it through the right and through the left. And that is going to be a P3 secured for the likes of Kenneth Portis II. And a P4 for Mateus Alves. What a battle. Absolutely phenomenal. Great job. Anthony Kelly. Of RaceForge Esports coming through with the P5. A survivor doing absolutely fantastic. Great job for Kelly. Outperforming most in this race today. The consistency winning him the positions. Matt Artem doing a great job, and while the race is over, we have quite a few yet to finish their laps. Would appreciate the likes of Jonathan Clifford, Thiago Denarte, and Kenneth Portis to hop in. Kernotis grabbing P7. Costa now trying to find P8. Loads of ways to go. What a great ending. You know, sometimes you get worried that you're not gonna have much to talk about, but goodness, that was fun. Incredible job by our race finishers. We do have a couple of people yet to finish the race. And while we watch the last couple of people going through the race, we have our race winner, Jonathan Clifford. Jonathan, what an emotional roller coaster that race must have been for you. Talk us through what you were feeling.
It was a pretty great race. I knew going into it that minding my own business, running my own race, and keeping it clean was going to be the biggest thing I had to watch out for. Especially when I realized that a couple of the cars around also were going for the half fuel strat. I knew I needed to, not let them by, but also not fight too hard.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of mistakes must have been quite scary for you. There were a couple of offs that you had. Fortunately, didn't end up with too much damage or any damage, I don't think. Those were moments that I held my breath. I don't know how you were feeling at that point in time.
Yeah, that one off track when I was trying to hold up the guys behind. After that, mainly got it under control. After that, it was kind of worrying about keeping my head on a swivel. There were a couple I had to dodge wrecks that I wasn't involved in, but yeah, no contact was essential for sure.
Well, Jonathan, you are looking pretty good for the championship now with unfortunately, Andrew Rados getting into a situation, dropping him to the back of the grid, and a return to pits down to P11. How do you feel about the lead, and any particular strategy to try and complete this championship on top?
Nah, just keep doing what I'm doing. Try my best. Nothing really changes, to me at least, where I am. I treat every race the same.
Fantastic. Well, love to see you up top. Congratulations on the win. It was relatively entertaining, but I must say our hearts were absolutely jarred in multiple directions with the likes of Kenneth Portis and Matheus Alves battling until the very last couple of corners. Kenneth, talk to us about what was going through your mind in that last lap.
Oh, man. Well, first of all, congratulations to Mr. Clifford on the win. That was well-deserved. Me, it was be close enough to catch the step stream. Sector 3 was a weak sector for me. I knew that I had a tire advantage, so for me, through the entire time, I'll just stay close enough so I can catch the draft, and hopefully I had enough straight line speed over the Ferrari to get the job done. And we had just enough. Then, don't bend it in the last two corners. Don't outbreak yourself or something like that, or leave the door wide open. So yeah, I was very, very happy to make the pass there in the end. It was a good race overall.
Absolutely fantastic. Was there any point in time that you thought, I don't know if this is going to happen or not? I mean, that second to last lap, he did a decent job of staying ahead of you. You did gain a lot of time, but I guess you never know at the Nordschleife. Were there any sketchy moments in the last two laps where you thought, ooh, I don't know, I might lose this one?
No, I think from the laps he was putting up, and from the laps that I was sure that I could do, all I needed to do was to hit those laps without putting it in the wall, and then I would have an opportunity. Then it was just about making sure that I took advantage of the opportunity. The chances was I was only going to have one, so I had to make that one opportunity stick.
Well, Kenneth, that was well-deserved. Your pace looked great, and you ended up on the podium. Congratulations. And congratulations to both of you friends, Portis and Clifford, doing a fantastic job ending up on the podium. What a great race. Thank you, JCG Stealth. Unfortunately, you're catching us right at the end of the stream as we are about to jump off. Fantastic job by all of our drivers. Some, unfortunately, getting the shorter end of the stick, but not for Kenneth Portis, not for Thiago Dinarte, and not for Jonathan Clifford winning the race here tonight. The Nordschleife is definitely not for the faint-hearted, and these gentlemen did manage to absolutely do a fantastic job and survive. Jaden, welcome. Appreciate the follow. Jaden from Track Limits doing some fantastic iRacing stuff. If you guys do any iRacing, definitely check them out. We are going to hop over to Too Slow Motorsports. Buddy playing Le Mans Ultimate. So for those of you who are interested in getting into Le Mans, we do run Tuesday Le Mans leagues. I'm looking at potentially getting back into Fridays. But for now, I'm Eric Ghoukasian, and we'll be back tomorrow for some more ACC and our rookies and open leagues in the GT4 series. More next level racing prizes. For tonight, this is the conclusion of our next level racing GT3 Pro Championship at the Nordschleife. Appreciate you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night wherever you are. Go say what's up to Too Slow Motorsports. See you next time.